What's up, YouTube? It's Nooch, the Console Samurai. Now, I have some developments for the console war. For those of you who don't know, Xbox One retails $500 currently. It's the controller, the console, and the Kinect camera, which has a microphone, and it allows you to give the Xbox voice commands, allows you to Skype, so on and so forth. But it's also the reason why the Xbox One is $100 more than the PS4, which a lot of people do feel that is a definite reason why the Xbox One has been lagging in sales. And that sounds very fair to me. Why spend $500 for a console when you can spend $400 on another one? Now, there's a study, they did some studies that show that 80% of people who have an Xbox One do actually use the camera, or it's at least plugged in. And how many of them actually use it, that's different. But if it's in the box, wouldn't you plug it in? Unless you had a really good reason not to. Like, for instance, you didn't trust the camera. One of the biggest issues with the camera is not the price. One of the biggest issues with the camera is that it has been at the heart of some pretty serious security debates about at what point is too much. The camera's on 24/7, listens to you 24/7. There have been jokes about NSA being one of the main supporters of the Xbox One because it lets them watch everything. Now, it's a joke, but who knows who's on the other side of that camera? So I understand why a lot of people really did object to the camera being included, because it's a security risk that, granted, I don't have to plug in, but you're making me buy it. With them pulling it out, that removes that security issue, and it also puts the price down to a much more competitive place. With the two systems being the same price range, it's not going to be a price debate anymore. It's going to boil down to a few things. One, it's going to boil down to console exclusives. Titanfall. Titanfall is a big name. Do I think it's going to make Xbox One the undisputed winner of the generation? Absolutely not. It's not innovative enough. It's a good idea. Don't start attacking. Start attacking me. It's not that big of a change. Neither console has come up with anything that's really that big. Not yet. It's also going to boil down, in some people, it will boil down to resolution. There are still games that run on Xbox One at 720p, but they run on the PS4 at 1080p, which, unless you are really a stickler for resolution, it's a non-issue. It's really not. Resolution doesn't change the gameplay. It's just maybe it makes it look a little better. Still, it's not that big a deal. So that's kind of, in my opinion, a non-issue. But some of you may still factor that in. But what's really, I think, going to be what hurts the Xbox One continued and makes this not going to be as big a deal as they're hoping is they waited too long. You waited far too long, Microsoft. You should have done this. Well, you should have done this when it was recommended to you before the launch. But you chose not to. You should have done it around Christmas when it was recommended again. But you chose not to. Instead, you waited 6 months. You gave Sony PlayStation 6 months to get people to invest in their console. Start building a library. Now, a lot of people are not going to jump from PlayStation 4 to Xbox One. Some people will have the money to do both. Absolutely. Completely different animal. But the people who only have enough money, who had to save up, people who barely could afford the one that they got the PS4, they're not coming to Xbox. If you had done this for Christmas, maybe. If you had done this before the tax refunds, maybe. But now, the fact that you waited is going to be the biggest issue you have. It's not going to be the fact that you don't really have that many great console exclusives, because you don't. But to be fair, neither does PlayStation. And I've seen on GameSpot, and this is not a new thing, I've seen a lot of fanboyism around this. People talking about how Xbox is or Microsoft was going to shut down Xbox because it was doing so bad because PlayStation was killing them, because everyone knew PlayStation was so much better of a console. Or people going and saying that, well, now that the price has dropped, PlayStation stands no chance because Xbox is so much better than them. And now they're on the same price level. PlayStation can't compete. Now, fanboyism like this is idiotic. The two consoles, not that different. I just want to put that out there because I really hate fanboyism. If you've chosen a console for any reason other than the games, I chose PS4. I very well may get an Xbox. This is definitely in the realm of possibility. But I chose PS4. I chose PS4 because of the games. Not because I'm a Sony fanboy, which I'm not. I have every console except for the Xbox One and the PS Vita. But that's different. But will this change everything? I don't think it'll change everything. Will this give Microsoft a leg up? Help them with the console war? Yeah, I think it will. I think that with them doing better, a lot of the third-party publishers who have been pulling out of Xbox development, they'll come back. Not that Xbox was ever in danger, but it was noticeable that there were some studios that were not. They were leaning more toward the PlayStation rather than the Xbox because the Xbox was struggling. Happened with the Wii U. The Wii U struggling. Xbox was starting to struggle just a touch. PlayStation 4 had a good, strong lead. PlayStation 4 may lose some of that lead now. But I don't think either system, I don't think any of those three are actually going to go out of business. Not a chance. And for the record, I have no updates about the Wii U. Just putting it out there. Nothing really has happened with the Wii U. Not in quite some time. This is really just about Xbox versus PlayStation. Wii U is kind of off in the background somewhere. So, but tell me what you think. Do you think that Xbox has made a decision that's going to strike the winning blow for them in the console war? Do you think they waited too long? Or are you a fanboy? Do you think that the Xbox One is going to crush the inferior PlayStation? Or do you think that the PS4 is still going to crush the inferior Xbox? Or are you a PC gamer and you think that the almighty master race of PC gamers is going to crush the lowly peons of console games? Either way, tell me what you think, because I really do want to know. I want to know what you think. I don't think this is going to be much of a change in the console war, but it might. It might be bigger than I expect. But either way, I'll see you around.